We grow healing mushrooms in a sound chamber of a sound bath.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bathed. It's got a crazy story of how that came about, but so we're, the medicine saved me about 12 years ago, and 8 years ago I started growing mushrooms to help others. I didn't ever start off to build a brand, but the psychedelic medicine, broke my illusions and helped me get out of alcoholism.
Behind the practice.
Welcome back to Behind the Practice. I'm your host, Sean Quintero, and today we got Mark. Mark, I'm really excited to hear your story. We are at the Boston BioLife longevity event, and your booth is probably the coolest looking booth out there. Tell me a little bit about what you guys do.
Well, we have a couple things going on, but the one one of the things that's going on that we brought here is our mushroom company.
Yeah.
It's Frequency. It's called Frequency. We grow healing mushrooms in a sound chamber of a sound bath.
Wow.
Yeah, it's bathed. It's got a crazy story of how that came about, but so we're, the medicine saved me about 12 years ago, and 8 years ago I started growing mushrooms to help others. I didn't ever start off to build a brand, but the psychedelic medicine, broke my illusions and helped me get out of alcoholism.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that journey.
It's my former career, former identity, I guess, is that of a DJ director and cinematographer back east. I did 35 years of so many things. I got a giant IMDb, thousands, 3,500 or more commercials, lots of TV. And I fell into, it was a very different era back then. Everybody drank, and, it's a high-powered, high-pressure business. Yeah. Always hustling and, all that. And, it was very alcohol, that was a part
abundant,
of thank you. That's a good word for it. I mean, we had our food table on set, called craft service. Yeah. Like when we said rap, would turn around and become a bar.
Wow.
It was that kind of thing. So, but anyway, I started having issues, as they say. It's fun, and then it's fun with problems, and it's just problems, right? So I was not one to really deny that I had an issue, and it ran in my family as well. And but I was in a culture that there was not a lot of alternative. I didn't know anything about alternative healing or anything. So I did the standard rehab system, which is very humiliating. Yeah. But you're an alcoholic. And shame. And then you're going to Alcoholics Anonymous. Hey, I'm Mark. I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And I believe in a big chunk of the AA program. I don't want to dismiss it. I'll circle back with that later. But anyway, I did everything I was told. I went to therapy. I did all the antidepressants. It was a nightmare. And then I went in and out of 5 rehabs.
Wow.
And I just got worse and worse. And then about 12 years ago, I ended up kind of losing everything. I couldn't work. I couldn't, whatever. I just couldn't function. And I ended up in one tiny studio apartment in Venice Beach. I had a house on the ocean with a guest house. I had boats. I had all this stuff, and it just eroded away. And it was a horrible time. And anyway, I almost died. I actually was dying, and I had to go to the hospital. And truthfully, I just didn't want to really try again because I didn't know what I would do different. I did everything, and I had no money left. And no career left, and I'm 50 years old, So anyway, obviously I'm still here. So I went to my last rehab in Malibu, ended up staying in LA, which is something I needed to do. And this time when I got out, I discovered Kundalini Yoga. It's one of the biggest. It's not really, shouldn't even be called yoga. It's a technology, ancient technology. And it just so happened that probably one of the best studios in the world was a half a mile from my house in Venice. And then ayahuasca. Yeah. And ayahuasca was super, super underground then. And I did a ceremony, and it completely shattered all my illusions.
Wow.
And to this day, I felt the most joy I've ever felt in my life.
Wow.
So I didn't know what that was, but I just kept doing that, and I kept doing the Kundalini, and I started doing all these other modalities, and minute by minute, I got better, hour by hour, turned into day by day, and then here I am 12 years later, and somehow this medicine came out of that. So it's a very passionate thing in me to share this with others that are struggling, and everything comes from the mind.
Yeah.
Everything. Like the body follows the mind, and if we don't heal the mind first, everything else is just patchwork.
Yeah.
On a ship that's sinking.
Yeah.
You need a new hull. You know what I mean?
Tell me more about that.
Well, so we have this thing. I make an analogy. I've heard it before, but of our life. And I make the analogy. It's like a house, right? You got this house you built a long time ago, but now the foundation's cracked. There's termites, it's got mold in it, the roof's leaking, and we go to yoga class. Well, that's like painting the wall, right? It's like throwing down a new rug on a moldy floor. It's like it's contaminated, right?
Yeah.
So I had to do this. I didn't realize I did all this stuff. The awareness came much later, but I have to kind of do what the goddess Shiva does: destruction.
Yeah.
Completely dismantle a house, take it down to the ground, and rebuild it clean.
Yeah.
This is a part of nature. This is a cycle of nature.
Yeah.
Right. A law of nature, and I believe we need to do this at least once or twice in our lives. To have a new chapter, right?
Yeah.
New phase, right? So, so it shattered this illusion of who I thought I was, and I started rebuilding, and I realized ayahuasca and new habits, it obviously shatters the neural pathways so that we can reprogram the brain whichever way we want.
Yeah.
Positive, right? And Kundalini yoga is excellent for the nervous system, which is the subconscious.
Yeah.
The subconscious runs us. 95% of your thoughts in this moment are run by the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
Right? And we're unconscious of this, unaware of it, and it will always dominate.
Yeah.
So I realized, like, one of the trainings that I got in the Kundalini classes was, I remember the yogis saying, you're addicted to your story and you don't even know what it is.
Wow.
So what they meant by that is you're addicted to your identity. You're addicted to your story of a victim. You're addicted to your story of an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Whatever. And that's in your programming in the subconscious, and it is very powerful. And it runs us because we have to navigate. As we navigate life, this thing we call life, the body, the brain, for efficiencies right now editing out millions of signals.
Yeah.
And it's deciding what is you need for efficiency.
Yeah.
And that what you need editing part is based on your identity. For example, if you're a hunter or whatever, it will filter out everything that does not help you in the hunting phase, right? So that's why you might be able to see things better than others, right? Because it's hiding your skill for survival.
Yeah.
Well, that applies to alcoholic, that applies to victim, whatever. And this is why we repeat, because we haven't broken the story. We just keep patching it, right? So I realized years after I stopped drinking, which has been 12, actually it was on a podcast.
Yeah.
It occurred to me. But
congrats.
While I was, the guys, what changed? And I was like, oh, ayahuasca, Kundalini. I realized, no, that was the method. That was the medicine. What changed was I changed my story. So I wasn't addicted to alcohol, as they told me. I was fulfilling my identity, that of an alcoholic. And what does an alcoholic do?
Yeah.
An alcoholic drinks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So as long as I lived in that, I would battle alcohol because I'm going up against the identity. Yeah. Right? And it's going to win. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to battle. There's no battle anymore. Right? There's no battle. I'm not an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher, I guess. I believe in the archetypes in tribes.
Yeah.
We all have our role.
Yeah.
The tent maker, hunter, whatever, teacher together.
Yeah.
So when we operate that way, so finding purpose is part of what the medicine does.
So bridge the gap for me from all of this incredible impact and journey to now frequency.
Yeah, so this medicine, I'm bringing it to public in a way that is safe and reliable, and I mean, we honor the medicine as it exists in nature. There's no synthesis, there's no extraction, there's no chemicals. We don't add anything. You know, humans have a tendency; their ego has to try to improve on nature, like make the apple better, make the mushroom better. It's like we just protect it. It's part of it was, you know, part of our mission is to offer the entire mushroom as medicine, not psilocybin or whatever, because psilocybin is to a mushroom as vitamin C is to an orange. It's a whole lot more than an orange.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, I do the genetic work myself. So it's pure. Big industry has taken over marijuana, as most people know, and pretty much destroyed it.
Yeah.
It's not even marijuana anymore, and it's not a healing plant.
Yeah.
They did it with tobacco years ago, and now they've done it with mushrooms. Same people, same packaging, same distribution, same everything. It's not a gummy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is sacred medicine that what makes us stand out. Well, many things, but we're here for the mental health of it, the power to help heal consciousness and create awareness to humanity.
Yeah, I can tell that protecting nature is such a vital part of the philosophy behind the brand.
Yes.
Tell me more about why the industry tends to really go the opposite way of not just trying to protect it and find what's sacred with it, but just package it and get it out.
Well, there's a bunch of reasons. One is, I don't know if you know this, but, you know, anything in the FDA there's nothing natural in the FDA.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't intellectually property own, patent a tomato.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, right? So what you have to do is synthesize it. And that process, if it's unique to you, you can own that process, which makes, you know, it's money.
Yeah.
Right. So it's also consistency or whatever, because every mushroom, every apple is slightly different. But we are slightly different all the time, right? But to answer your question, they're just doing it for normal reasons, speed. They want to get you the most impact, get you as high as possible.
Yeah.
It's backfired in marijuana because most people are afraid of it now. It's way too much. So they concentrate it, condense it, genetically modified, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Right, for speed, efficiency, and, you know, money.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not easy to grow. It's not. It's very difficult.
Now,
It's very, very difficult.
What are some of the stories that are some of your favorite from your customers?
Oh, wow.
You love it.
Oh, man. We have so many. Recently I had a guy order microdoses, which is an imperceptible amount, like almost nothing. And he was dyslexic, and he can read now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
That wasn't even a deep... He was 53 years old. He's like, dude, I can read. I go, cool. I didn't know he couldn't. I was like, wow, okay. And he's like, no, you don't understand. Like my wife, I was watching a movie, and I couldn't read I couldn't read subtitles. And last night, I could read the subtitles.
Wow.
Yeah.
That must have been so emotional. I can only imagine, 53 years of not being able to do something.
Yeah, and that's just, like, we get them all the time. I'm trying to think of some more. I mean, I've had, in ceremony, we had a guy who met his unborn baby.
Wow.
His wife was pregnant.
Wow.
And had this deep conversation with his future son.
Wow.
I mean, we've had people go back and clear up massive karma. Past lives, like massive, and when they cleared that, their life now took off.
Wow.
It's like, you know, you can't write this stuff, you know?
That's beautiful.
So many. I could go on and on.
Yeah.
I'm actually was thinking about writing a book called Downloads from the Mushrooms. And,
You should.
you know, get all these things on paper, yeah.
Yeah. If somebody discovers your work years from now, what do you hope they are saying about what you do today?
Pioneers, that were pioneers.
Tell me more.
I really feel like it. Well, I mean, this medicine is probably one of the oldest medicines humanity's ever had. It's been hidden because of its power. Comes with responsibility. But it doesn't take a scholar to see that we're in an epidemic of mental illness. And I should rephrase that, mental unawareness. We are asleep completely. And this is ancient texts have predicted where we are now.
Yeah.
We're in this Aquarian age of consciousness. The Schumann resonance, the magnetic field of planet Earth is shifting, and human consciousness is attached to it, and we're unaware. right? We're being led down a path of destruction, right? And these thoughts are not ours, but we think they are.
Yeah.
And they lead us into trouble, right?
Yeah.
The old adage, the sheep spend their life worried about the wolf only to be eaten by the shepherd.
Wow.
Right? So we have to be aware.
Yeah.
But so we're bringing awareness to humanity. It's not me, it's not anything. I just happen to be the vehicle or the message to get it out there. But when we heal the mind, everything else follows.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take a lot, and it's here for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, the original Christians in the sacrament of communion was mushrooms and DMT, apparently.
Wow.
So the Catholic Church shifted us from a psychedelic-based world to an alcohol-based world in 8490, I think.
Wow.
Right? For control. Because alcohol completely, and I mean completely, second you take a sip, severs you from spirit.
Interesting.
Yeah, some people believe the word alcohol translates into mind-eating spirit in Egyptian. I've heard that. I'm not sure if that's true, but vast experience with battling this. It's an entity. It's a darkness that completely dominates you. 80% of our prisons are full of alcohol-related crimes, right?
Yeah.
Right? So it's a thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, we are coming back to there's no coincidence that psychedelic medicine has reemerged in humanity in this era of the Aquarian Age. At the same time, artificial intelligence has.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence.
Yeah.
I did a talk on that a while back. And then, so you have nature's intelligence.
Yeah.
And then you have machine intelligence.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I tap into the field of consciousness, which is infinite.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you have 30 trillion cells in your body.
Yeah.
Every single one of them is a city, an infrastructure, power source, information transmit, and each one is intelligent. Well, just go into every leaf, fish, everything is intelligent.
That's
nature.
amazing.
And that's what this allows us to do. And by the way, we have these skills naturally, but we can't see them or hear them. This is a guidance system. We tap into this guidance system that's been here forever to guide us.
Yeah.
Some people call it God, whatever you want to call it. But, the scientists call it the quantum field. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We don't get ideas. They're given to us from the field. Ego says they're mine. Ego says, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like it's very common for people who make such a positive impact to be aware that they're receiving rather than creating ideas,
100%.
right? I'm gifted this idea or this insight, and it's mine to steward while it's mine, or quote unquote mine. But when it's been entrusted with me,
right.
What are we'll end with this. What's one lesson you hope everybody takes away from hearing your story and hearing your journey?
One lesson. I mean, be aware. Just be aware. Pay attention. Wake up. Right.
Yeah.
And then the second piece of that, and I keep it really simple. Just do the next right thing. That's it. Don't think about next week. That's trying to control. You have expectations.
Yeah.
This guidance system, if you do the next right thing and live with integrity, number one, no bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit is what makes you sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're bullshit. So just do the next right thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. If people want to get the product, how do they find more?
Easiest way is frequencycaps.com. And then we have a second company that is a healing center. It's frequency-house.com.
I love it.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Right on.
All right. My name is Sean Quintero. I've been your host of Behind the Practice, and we will see you in the next episode. Behind the Practice is produced by Next Step Social and Podcasting and hosted by Katie Brinkley and Sean Quintero. A special thank you to our guests today. This episode was recorded live at the Boston BioLife Functional Longevity Summit. A special thank you to the team that helped make this podcast happen.